Does anybody? I'll tell you. I have a lot of thoughts on Black Ops 6 so far, and we've talked about it in bits and pieces as we've gone through the stream. But I think this would be a good time to talk about it now. You know what? It feels very bizarre, or at least kind of feels a little strange to me lately. I really miss having a forward-facing community manager, a part of the Call of Duty titles. Now, obviously, that came with a lot of problems. You know, David Vonderhaar, who's no longer with Treyarch, used to be, he was, leading the studio, or multiplayer at least. And on top of that, he was also very, very active on Twitter, which is now known as X.com, obviously. And that was good and bad. I think David Vonderhaar had to deal with a lot of bullshit just because the community at that time, I think, right now, social media is very toxic because of the political climate. But overall, I feel like the internet, in a lot of ways, at least around the Call of Duty franchise, used to be even more toxic. And David Vonderhaar, for all the good that he did for the Call of Duty franchise, he had to deal with a lot of bullshit. And all the community managers up, after David Vonderhaar and even before him with like 402, it's not... You're in everybody's crosshair at all times, gentlemen. So I think they kind of moved away from that. But to me, what's like bizarre so far about the Black Ops 6 release is that I just don't feel like we have an open line of communication with the studio. And I guess they don't necessarily owe that to us, but it would be really nice to talk to somebody about some of the biggest like glaring issues with the title and the game itself right now. Like, for me, so far, everything has been amazing from a gunplay and movement perspective. Like, the game feels very fluid, and I'm having a lot of fun with the engagements. But two really big problems in my mind. One are the maps. The maps, like, there are so many maps so far that if it comes up on the bottom left and there's two stinkers that everybody's trying to vote for, there's a problem with the maps when everybody's voting classified, and then people like me are just backing out of the lobby, point blank period, immediately as soon as they see it. So the maps are a really big problem. And then number two, I think the biggest issue is the, the recon specialist, bro. If you run 3 blue perks, you basically have wall hacks the entire game. Every time you spawn, you see somebody, or you see the entire other team wherever they're at, it doesn't matter. And the problem is that there's no counter to it, bro. There's nothing that you can do if you're on the other team, and